Welcome to Globe 10.0. I'm Chad Finn, filling in for Bob Ryan, joined by Assistant Sports Editor Greg Lee. Greg, you know your movie trivia. Give me a good Jack Nicholson line here, based on the Celtics last night. Come on, give me one.
You can't handle the truth?
That's right. That's exactly what we found out last night down in Atlanta. Paul Pierce with a tour de force performance, 36 points, 14 rebounds, 9 points in the first 2.5 minutes, 13 in the fourth quarter. Outscored the Hawks from, the last 15-something minutes. What do you say to that, Greg Lee?
The truth is he had a great game in game 2. But the real truth is, why didn't he come out like that in the first game of the playoffs when they came out flat and they lost to the Hawks? He scored 12 points in that game. The truth is that when you're advancing in age, that sometimes you get a good game for a player and bad games. Look at the last 2 years of Kevin Garnett and his downside. He'll come up every now and then with a great game, and then the next game he tanks it. It's part of the aging process of a player. It's just natural. But can Paul Pierce sustain what he did in game 2 carrying on to game 3?
Well, Paul Pierce right now his age is his jersey number 34. I tend to look at game 1 as just a bad shooting night. He had good looks. Joe Johnson was on him and really didn't give it that great of a defensive effort. Pierce just missed. Game 2, if you're familiar with Paul Pierce's work, I think a lot of people saw that coming. I think he gets too much criticism sometimes for taking the last shot in the game or for not being this guy or that guy. But when his career is in full context and you look at Paul Pierce, he's one of the all-time greatest Celtics. It belongs in the starting 5, probably.
No doubt that Paul Pierce is one of the greatest Celtics in the Celtics history. I just think that, you know, seeing what the team itself, which is more important for me right now, going ahead look at the playoffs, looking at how the patterns are. They tend to, they play a good game, and then we'll see what happens in the next game because they put all their eggs when their backs against the wall. They play well, but see what happens at the emotional level with Rondo coming back in game 3, and see that could carry over from game 2 to game 3 because the bench played well. But with benches, they're now always consistent.
Yeah, the bench was great last night, but Paul Pierce was greater. Game 3, I think they step it up again. Pierce probably won't have 36 points again, but Rajon Rondo's history, when he comes back from these sort of incidents, he plays very well. That's going to be enough. This series is over. The Celtics are going to wipe away the Hawks. And Paul Pierce, I'll take him over Carmelo Anthony or any of these other guys that get more hype than he does. We've seen him do it for all these years.
Take him over Dwayne Wade?
He's going to do it again. We'll get to that some other day. He's going to do it again in Game 3.